Yeah, got a very special guest today. Could you do me a favor and introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Carlos. I was known as Dopey from Montevista DogTown, back in YA. Uh, so my name is Carlos. I go by CG now. That's my alter name, and it's a whole different world now.
Much love, much love. Appreciate you joining us. And so I just wanted to start from the beginning of your journey. I know you've had a unique journey, started thousands of miles away. So can we start from the beginning? How was your child as a youngster? Or how was your life
Um,
as a youngster?
well, as a youngster, as a little kid, well, first of all, I was born in El Salvador during the Civil War. So ever my first memories of being out there playing around, like running around the streets with my cousins or my friends, it always involves some type of shootings or wars, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was like a normal thing, so my mother had to leave me when I was a month old to come find work, because
Mm.
obviously over there was no work. um After that, well, my father only seen him like twice. And well, I grew up with my cousins. My aunt took me in, and well, my cousins, you know how cousins are, they fuck with
Yeah.
you all the time and all that shit. So I used to tell you, ain't nobody wants you, that's what you hear,
Damn.
this shit. But hey, but it makes you, like, you talk shit to them too,
Yeah.
So we used to run around. I remember uh on our way to school, um sometimes it would be like would be in the morning and afternoon, and then this will start shooting the soldiers and the guerrilleros, like, so you'll be stuck right there either on the ground or finding cover, trying to or just trying to wait to see till the dudes finish shooting at each other, like.
Yeah.
And but that was part of life. Then for some reason I remember there was this time, like in the late 80s. I don't know why the guerrilleros decided to start leaving mines, dude. And kids, a lot of kids were just blowing up,
Oh
like their
shit.
legs, their hands, all kinds of shit, so you have to be careful where you walk. um School was, it was cool. There weren't that many gangs back in those days. Back in those days over there, it was more like it was war. They had the death squads, those little death squads. So if you were like the way it is today over there, like, they have those maras and everything,
Yeah.
they didn't allow that. They would just go to your house and just take you out. They'll bring you out at nighttime and they'll just shoot you right there.
Damn.
They didn't play with that shit before, but then it was another time. You get me? Back in those days, it was about communism and the United States trying to fight communism, because that's when Russia was involved trying to take over America. So we had a lot of American soldiers, like you used to see these guys with those big ass Rambo fucking M60s and shit carrying all that thing,
Yeah.
huge ass fools, and then obviously los guerrilleros, they used to um they used to take kids, dude. They used to, they didn't give a fuck if you were like 7, 8. They would take you. They'll try to recruit you, but back then, it was like this is the thing they would tell you. The soldiers would come to your house and they would tell you, hey, give me something to eat, period, or I'm gonna fuck, or,
Yeah.
they're gonna mess with you. And the guerrilleros used to come to your house, be like, excuse me, do you have any extra food to give us? So they were more for the people back then. you know
Yeah.
Obviously behind that, communism, it's a whole different world, a whole different thing. That's not good. um then after that, it was, but it was fun too, like, that it wasn't just that, like, messing around with my cousins during Christmas, man, doing the fireworks and all that. Like, everybody used to do firecrackers and all that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
um like I told you last time, we used to go play at the cemetery, and my cousin used to get on the trees, and at nighttime he used to scare people, like, people used to think it was a ghost, like,
Yeah.
um so we used to do a lot of stupid shit. We used to get those firecrackers. There was this house, like where I used to live, like right towards the entrance of the block, right?
Yeah.
There was this house. It was the house of prostitutes. It's one of those houses where the free prostitutes lived. And in the house, for some reason, on the side of the house, there were a lot of black widows.
Damn.
So we used to put a gum
Yeah.
on sticks, and we used to go get them and get the black widows and bring them out. We used to put them in little bottles, And when the soldiers used to come out, we used to put firecrackers on them and throw it at the soldiers, you know,
Oh
at
shit.
the thing. And a lot of times they caught us, man. They used to fuck us up, man.
So
They
the
used
soldiers
to,
end up beating
uh,
you guys down?
yeah, it used to beat us down, man, because we used to fuck with them too, you know, like. But by the age, by the time you get 12, they start taking you into the military, you know.
Damn.
But by that time, your mentality is already like, okay, you by that time you more or less know where you want to go. Um, I wanted to go to the military, you know. Um, and some of my friends they wanted to guerrilleros, so you kind of like know
Yeah.
where you want to go. Um, I
Let me ask,
remember,
how is it
um,
being that young and being so like I would guess you could say comfortable around death? Like, how is it like growing up like that?
look, I don't see. I don't think is that you're comfortable around death.
Yeah.
I believe, well, now that I think about it and I think about my past, a lot of people that are afraid of dying. They're you know,
Mm.
um, I think when you're in a position like that, you get to enjoy life a little bit more with the
Yeah.
time you have, you know, with the people you have, um, because you don't know what's gonna happen next. The part about being comfortable around death is, I don't think people were comfortable with death. It's just you have to make the best of it. And as far as dying, a lot of people didn't care about dying, but they think they care more about how they die. You get
Mm.
me? Because sometimes we will find people hanging from the trees. They will cut this like right here and just
Yeah.
bring up to your skin, so you could suffocate in your own skin. And they'll leave you right there, like on the side of the street, whatever. They didn't care, you know. Like they used to leave girls like raped or whatever on the side of the street, shot on the head or shot everybody. It didn't matter, you know.
Damn.
It was a whole different it was a whole different world,
Yeah.
you know. And but I guess it's because the war's going on at that time. You know, they had the Cold War. Hey, I think we got lucky because if that would have gone through, man, the Cold War, if Russia would have taken over or they would have gone at it, I think some everybody would have been nuked already. You know, because um they were playing around with Cuba when they brought those nuclear missiles to Cuba and all that.
Yeah.
That thing was no joke, bro. You know, and so it, it's like I told you, it's like when you're born into something like that, that's what you know, and that's normal for you. You
Hmm.
just gotta try to avoid not to get caught up on that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, I lost my brother, my older brother, you know, like he got caught up in between the stupid shit. Sorry, they got caught
Okay.
up. I curse a lot,
Yeah. Go. That's
you
fine.
know. So um, he got caught up in between. Then he was a mechanic. He was so he got this Volkswagen to fix, this car to fix, and so the soldiers found out he belonged to a guerrillero. Then the guerrilleros found out that the soldiers got him, tried to question him. So both sides told him that they were gonna come at nighttime to take the whole family and kill us. One didn't speak, and the other one, if he spoke,
Damn.
right? So he got panicked. He was only like 16, 17. He got panicked and he drank some battery acid.
Oh
Okay, I
shit.
mean, so he drank battery acid. He was in bed for like 6 months after that because he didn't die right away. They put tubes around his thing, you know,
Oh
like
fuck. Yeah.
everything through straws and everything. And well, 6 months later, he died. You know, but everybody lost somebody there. You know,
Yeah.
every family lost people. Something happened to you over there or whatever. You know, there's um, I do believe that I was lucky over there because where I was at, I think the last thing that happened was in '89 in La Ofensiva when the guerrilleros took over the little city where we live, you know, the
Yeah.
capital. They took over like the nighttime. There were soldiers, and then there was a shootout. You know, you could see the things in the sky with the ones they shoot, so they could see where you're at.
Yeah.
So they lit up the sky, and then you would hear, bah, bah, and then, da, 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 and then, da, 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 and then you will see the helicopter, and then you see the plane just shooting and shooting, you know. And
Damn.
then that thing, um, I remember my neighbors came to the house because our house was towards the middle of the block, and it was a little bit more surrounded, and it was
Yeah.
a little bit bigger, you know. This time there was this big guy, huge, tall guy, and I remember he broke down. He was crying, saying about, oh, we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die.
Damn.
He was praying, and then he said, he was like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die like this, I don't want to die like this. And in my head, me and my cousins were like, why is this dude tripping?
Yeah.
You know, like, because you know, you're a kid, you don't really think that's gonna happen to you. You get me?
Yeah.
um you don't really think that's gonna happen to you. So we were like, look at this dude, you know, like just tripping out. But then again, you don't really know what's going on. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what's going on, but you don't know the seriousness of it. You just like, hey, you know, you're a little kid, like, fuck, okay, they're doing it, and then it's gonna happen, and then that's it, they're gonna be gone, you know.
Yeah.
But now the next day, they stood, we came out, and it was nothing but guerrilleros on the street.
Damn.
um and then so that's when I met one of my uncles. The dude was he was like a police or whatever the heck he was, you know,
Yeah.
from my father's side. And but he was an alcoholic. A lot of people over there are alcoholics, bro, you know. um and he had fell asleep. When he woke up, that dude pulled out his badge and tried to arrest. So they got him, they tied him up, and they shot him right there, dude, in front of
Oh,
the house, you know. But hey, he should have known better, you know. You don't do stupid shit like that, you know, like.
yeah.
um and again, I think it was the alcohol, because I think he woke up and he was still freaking drunk and thought he was gonna just take them all, you know. Especially because everybody used to see those movies back then, the Delta Force, Chuck Norris, and freaking Rambo. You know, everybody was up pumped up on that thing. So
Damn.
yeah, but it was um it was cool. I have a lot of good memories too. You know, my cousins, uh, their parties. You know, like um I remember once I started getting older, like I was already 11, I went with my older cousins to a party, right? Now this time they have you know what a toque de queda is?
No, it's a
Where the soldiers tell you, hey, you can be out on the streets. Well, we have a curfew.
okay.
Okay, so a curfew. So you had a curfew, right? They didn't let you be out on the streets after 8 p.m. So we went to this party, and we were coming back around 11,
Yeah.
11, 12, right? And they got us, you know. It was like 7 of us, and the soldiers got us. And then um the way they got us is like there was another group of dudes too coming out of the party, and we were just, because over there you bagging each other, you know, like you guys talk shit, but that's what you're doing, talking shit, you know.
Yeah.
And then the soldiers overheard the loud noise, and then they got us, they got everybody. So this is how they let you go. During those times,
Yeah.
uh, they go like, we're gonna count them to 10, 20, whatever they're gonna say. Hey, you guys better start fucking running now, because after I start counting, I'm gonna start shooting. And
Damn.
I stopped counting, start shooting, and they did, dude. You know, as soon as they go one, you better take off, and that's how they let us go. You know,
Yeah.
and but they did used to shoot. You know, they used to shoot, but I mean, sometimes they didn't shoot to kill, but they sometimes you run into the wrong freaking soldier or the wrong guerrilla, and you know he's not bad mood, and that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, so from there, after that happened, on 89 La Ofensiva, um then that's when I had it. I came over here.
Hmm.
You know, by that time was January 1990. That's when I got to this country.
How old
Um,
were you at that time?
I was 12.
You were 12, so you're about old enough to join the military over there.
I
So
didn't take me because I had a flat feet. You know,
okay.
That-
Oh
that's
shit.
that that's the only reason they didn't take me. I mean, if they would have recruited me, because I actually applied for the. I mean, my cousin applied for the school, for the military school, but they didn't take me.
Damn.
But if they would have recruited me out the street, they would have taken me. You know, and that's what you don't want to do, because if you get recruited on the street, you're the
Yeah.
first one to go into the mountains, you know, to try to you know, you're the
Yeah.
pawn that goes, you know, you're a sacrifice,
Damn.
you know. But
So you're 12 years old. You come over to the U.S. and how does it feel when you get over here? Like when you start going to school and everything.
well, so like first of all, I didn't want to come here the first. You know, I was already used to over there. I think I was already older. So I had been here once before for 2 weeks in 1986
Yeah.
after the earthquake over there, and then but only for 2 weeks, and I went back. So I had met my mother at that time. So when I came in 1990, it was actually to live with her. So it's a whole different thing than just meeting her, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't fit in, to be honest. I felt out of place. I I I believe I was really mad at her, like
Yeah.
because um you grow up without a mother, a father. Although I know she used to help me, she used to send money, and I know she was here for a reason. She didn't leave me because she was a bad person. She left me out of necessity.
Hmm.
So, but I didn't understand that because I was a kid. You get me? Like,
Yeah.
as a little kid, you just think like what's around you, and then you fucking you start getting angry. You start seeing all these things around you, and you have to be a little bit harder so you could, so if you're soft, you don't really, you don't get through it. You get me?
Yeah.
So when I came, um, we bumped heads. You get me? And then I had a little brother. I like that dude. My little brother, like fat chubby guy. He was cool, but the resentment I had towards my mother wasn't that didn't let me enjoy the time with
Dang.
him or anything like that.
Yeah.
I got here and I felt like she thought she tell me, oh, don't touch that, you're gonna break it. Oh, don't this and that. I started taking that shit personal, like like any little thing she say, I took it personal, bro.
Yeah.
But then so that started happening. We started bumping heads, I wasn't disrespectful, but I really didn't like the way she was towards me. And I get it. She was trying to be hard on me, and she
Yeah.
had to because obviously over there I was out in the streets every day. Nobody told me shit. My aunt used to let me run and just come back to eat at night and go to sleep, and then just go to school, leave your books, and just take off with your friends. Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right here was different, right? Because obviously right here I didn't know nobody. Right here was more like, hey, like uh for my first few days I had to be in there. You get me?
Yeah.
And I couldn't touch anything, and like obviously I was kind of frustrated because a lot of people I didn't understand, a whole different uh type of lifestyle. Most of all, you gotta keep in mind, um I had never met anybody Mexican.
Mm.
You get me? So
Yeah.
if Salvadorans and Mexicans, our the way we are is different. You get me? Um, it's almost the same, but our attitude towards things is a little bit different. So I have my aunt, and my aunt, she's an adopted aunt.
Hmm.
That she's actually my brother's aunt, but
Yeah.
I call her my aunt because that lady, that's the only lady that I felt comfortable with, because I felt like she took care of me during that time. Like she actually took the time to be like, "Hey, wait, this kid is fucked up." You get me?
Yeah.
You can't just throw it like that. So she used to fuck around with me, Like at first, I used to take it like the fuck, like, and she used to be like, she used to tell me stupid stuff, Um, but she was teasing me, so that's what she got at me,
Yeah.
Um, I remember we used to go to this. They used to have these 99-cent stores,
Hmm.
and they used to sell those pants with the elastic on the side. She used
Yeah.
to take me to buy those, and all that. And like I appreciate that,
Yeah.
because now I had this lady here that she cooked for me. She talked to me. Era bien well, how do you say mal hablada, like vulgar. She used to take everything like doble sentido, like those ladies that be like, oh, you know how concha has like two meanings, like the bread and then the when you're talking like alburear. I don't know if you know what that means.
No, I don't know that. I apologize.
Um, okay, so I guess in El DF or Mexicans, well, a lot of Mexicans, they when you're with the guys, so they have this language where everything you say has like it means something else, like. So she used to play with me like that, and I didn't know it. So at first I was mad until I started catching
Yeah.
up, and then we started like clowning around, But sadly, I didn't get along with my brother's dad. When I met him, I had a little issue with him, and by that time, when I got to school, um, the only people, since I had to go to ESL and be on the special table, the only people that was there, obviously, my first friend here was uh, a guy named George. I remember him. He was from my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Um, so I started hanging around with him, and pretty much since elementary,
Yeah.
So I had that issue, and then I started talking to him, and then he was already since way before. I guess he was like second, third generation gang member, like. So he was already up on everything, Then he used to tell me, "Hey, well, just chill, like he used to stay after school, just messing around, like um." That's about the story I told you last time that with him we got caught with the 38. Just he was pointing it at in elementary that he kept pointing at a little kids like, "Hey, look what I got, dude!" And he pulled it out. He's like, "Look, he got
Yeah.
like this." But we were sitting on back of on back of us. It was the office, so the principal was like, "Hey, he took it and." But we didn't get in trouble. His uncle got in trouble,
Yeah.
and so that started happening. So I started getting comfortable with him. He gave me,
Uh-huh.
and so by this time I'm turning 13, whatever, and we hit junior high, right? So we hit junior high, and since I've been hanging around with him for a while, other people start noticing that I start hanging around with him.
Yeah.
Now at this time I wasn't even thinking about getting into gangs or nothing. And so I met this other guy I used to talk to from Ghetto Boys, and he was cool as fuck with me and everything. But then we went out on vacations, and I ran into him after a few months. I ran into him on the street on Figueroa in 58, and then he was like, "Hey," it was because I didn't speak English, and he barely speak any Spanish, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Oh, Montevisa," because George, because
Yeah.
my friend. I go, "Oh yeah, yeah," and then he goes, "Avenue," and they start fucking me up, him and
Oh
his friends,
shit.
and my brother was walking with me. But like I said, that time, I was glad my little brother kept walking, like because I really don't know what went through my little brothers, but I just got jumped,
Damn.
I got lucky, I just got jumped. Then like that, it pisses you fuck off. It pisses you off, like the heck,
Yeah.
dude, like tripping. I mean, especially with somebody that you've been cool with, you know. So then that was another time, and then at school, so this other guy started messaging me at school, and then well, my friend he found out, and I remember like him and his homies just ran up to the guy and started tripping on him. So that
Yeah.
put me in a whole different position because if they're helping me out, then they think, no, this was,
Yeah.
So I run into that guy again on back of an alley. He pulls out a gun on me. And I go, what was like, like, ¿qué onda? Like, why you doing that shit? He goes, I know you're from Montevideo. And I'm like, dude, I'm not, like, whatever, dude. So I took off, dude. I took off running,
Yeah.
like I didn't even wait for him to say shit or whatever. I seen that thing and
You
we
just
kind of like,
bounced.
yeah. So I'm not gonna stay there fucking trying to explain myself. So that was it. Like that was it. That it was close to my house. I knew they know um where I live, so it was like
Yeah.
eh, let me see. Okay. So that made up my mind. Besides, I wasn't even comfortable in the house. So um I talked to this other friend and we were like, hey, well, let's go get jumped in, you know?
Yeah.
And so we went and we talked to the homie Sweepy at the time. And then he took us to the hood, and we got jumped in. Well, I got jumped in because the dude on the way over there, he goes, oh no, I gotta go home, whatever. So he booked it on me. So I, I ended up getting jumped in by myself.
Yeah.
And so I got jumped in. I really got fucked up. Okay, like I got fucked up. I was the home with Tiny, Rascal, and Sweepy, and I can't remember the other ones, but I remember I got fucked up. I was like, damn. But after that, since I was a runaway, this is the thing I was telling you is like I feel that was my luck. It
Yeah.
gave me that was my way of that was life putting me in a situation where I had to learn things, but putting me around the right people.
Yeah.
Because obviously I didn't have a place to sleep or I didn't have a place to live. I didn't even have fucking money. I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I went to the apartments where we were kicking it, and we chilled the first day and everything. But then after everybody goes home, you're there by yourself.
Yeah.
So I was sleeping on the second floor. He gave me on the hallway, and the manager found me, and the manager goes, "Hey, you gotta get out, dude." And then I go like, "Wait, but I didn't got nowhere to live, like whatever." So I'm just, and then he goes, "Okay." He goes, he let me stay there because on the roof there's like these two little rooms
Yeah.
because you could sleep on those, but you gotta clean the hallways. You gotta clean all that shit. So like, all right, fuck it, you know. So I remember I started. He gave me the broom, started sweeping all that, and in the morning, and then in the afternoon, my homework got there, and I clearly remember my homework Bones, and he see me. He was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" You know, like yes, he was like, well, I had to work. You know, the guy said I could stay here to work. And he was like, "Nah, no, my homework are gonna be doing that shit." You know, like you ain't gonna be doing that shit. Like, come on, you know.
Yeah.
And that's when he started lacing me up on what's it called? Uh, on selling rocks. You know,
All
because
right. All right.
that's what we used to sell. We used to sell rocks. You know.
Yeah.
And then he hooked me up. You know. He used to let me stay at his pad. He took me in. Then my homeboy Fernie started doing the same thing. You know, like, and then I started making more money. I started making money, and I could do. I could be like dependable. You get me?
Yeah.
I could be dependable, and so like I really appreciate these guys. You know, like I I I I feel that um they look after me. You
Yeah.
get me? Like I I love these dudes because at a time when you ain't got shit and you ain't got nobody, and you know somebody comes and picks you up, dude. Hey, come on, you gotta be grateful. You know, like
Yeah. Hell
you
yeah.
can never forget that shit. You know, it don't matter what happens in life. You know, you can't talk shit. You know, you can't be like those dudes that get out just because they change their lives, they start talking shit.
Yeah.
Uh, no, none of that.
No,
You
I
know,
agree 100% because there have been times where, like, I would need some kind of help with something to just progress in the next step of my life. You know what I mean? And
mhm.
it's like fucking damn. I need like one time I just needed volunteers to help clean teeth because I was trying to do that right, and nobody wanted to help. Like no regular people. They were like nah, they weren't fucking with me. But I
Mhm.
went to the spot where all the homies were chilling at, and I was like, hey, can I clean you guys' teeth? They're like, fuck yeah. Roll 2 carloads deep. You know what I mean? And it's just
Yeah,
like you said, like the homies, like they're gonna, for the most part, at least from what I see, when they got love for you, they want you to do better. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And they're gonna sometimes though, if you're in a fucked up situation, that's the only situation they know, that's the only situation you know, they're gonna back your play. But if they see
yeah,
you trying to do better, from at least from my experience, I've always seen them like fucking be all on board with it. Like handle your business, dog. You know what I mean?
yeah. You know, so long as you really mean what you say, you get me?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So with these guys, like even with the homie that told me about your group, about your podcast, you know, homie Scrappy from Dogtown from the Dukes, you know, like he's freaking badass homeboy, you know, like he has a big reputation and everything, and it's really good to see homeboy, like he has his family now, he's married, has the right girl, and his kids, you know, and you know, it's good to see people you grew up with
Hell yeah.
doing good. You get me? Like it makes you feel good. Like yeah, you know, at least I had these people right here, you know, and in their own way, they're living life. You get me?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has their own path. You know, we just gotta figure out how to find it and follow it. So after that, bro, I mean, like I got busted right away. You know, like this murder happened, and I had my paperwork. The cops found my paperwork with the fucking rifle. So obviously I got busted for the murder. You get me?
Yeah, damn.
Um, as a juvenile, it doesn't really matter because whatever the cop says, that's what it goes. And when you ain't got shit out here, it's like, well, fuck it, you know, like, all right, well, fuck it, go down for it, you know, because at the same time, it's like, come on, bro, you're getting a free shower, you're getting a free meal, you're getting a free bedding, you
Yeah.
know, like that you're getting security. You get me?
Yeah.
Um, so uh I didn't really last that long because on June 92, that's when I got busted for murder, you know.
Damn.
So I only filed my case for a few months, which I was going from Central to Silmar to the HRO unit.
Yeah.
Um, and right there it was cool, you know. I rolled up to Central. The first person I meet was, I remember the homie on Droopy from Evergreen, fucking female dude, you know, like he was pretty cool. He always like he was very respectful, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and now he told me what's going on, you know, like what to expect, because you gotta remember, um, just keep in mind, I'm not at this time, I'm really not up to, you know, up with the game that much, you know, like
Yeah.
the street life. I'm basically a paisa that got caught up in gangs,
Yeah.
Um, so I met the dude. He runs me down. Like, I'll be honest with you, dog. Is like I think the experience since I got busted all the way to I got out. There were bad experiences, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That but I think it was. I think I got lucky, huh? You know,
Yeah.
I think I got lucky because I went to Central and I had my first fight in Central with this little chubby kid. I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even know, like, to be honest, half of the time I didn't even understand what anybody was saying. That, like, what the
Huh.
heck.
Damn.
I was just trying to, like, like that tapado.
Yeah.
So I had my first fight right there. Then from Central, like you go to court, and then if you see an enemy there, you either start talking shit or you get down if you get close enough to him. But then that's basically it. If you fight, you cool. If not, you know.
Yeah.
Um. So from Central, I lost my case, and then on towards the end of '92, I went to Norwalk SRCC, right? So getting to SRCC, that's a whole different game.
Yeah.
Now there's rules. Now you gotta figure out. But the thing is that everybody that's telling you the rules, they don't really know what the fuck's going on because they're just barely getting up to the system too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so in SRCC, I had two fights with Pulga from Santa Barbara, and I forgot the other guy. But they weren't like gang fights. They were just fights for stupid shit. Like you bump into him and like, oh hey, dispensa, like whatever, and they're like, fuck you, like
Yeah.
okay, we're
Yeah. Yeah.
gonna
Still.
fight, but then
Yeah.
as the and in SRCC you switch rooms. You get me with your with your celly. So mine was Babas, from Orange County. That dude was funny, dog, because he used to be talking to me. He's on the top bunk, and then he'd be talking to me, and I just see his thing started drooling, like, hey, like, um, yeah, that dude was pretty firme, But again, so I get into with homie, and then over the stupidest thing, like just a bump. That's it.
Yeah.
And so we start fighting, and we both don't know how to fight. So we start wrestling, dog. So the
Yeah.
whole time there, we're wrestling, but we're trying to, but we're trying. I mean, we're
Yeah.
trying. So and they had those little holes where you could see through the hole. It's like, what the fuck is that? It's a fucking box, like, so But hey, um, we went at it like 2 3 times, and then we ended up fucking playing chess. Making a chessboard, playing or playing cards. Like,
Yeah.
so they came and they took us out again to eat dinner or whatever, and then you could switch again.
Yeah.
But that's how you meet homies sometimes. Like the dude you don't get along with, that's the dude becomes fucking firme with you, because after you get down with them, it's like, okay, well, I get down with this fool, but he's firme. He gave me the dude was funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and SRCC was pretty quick because um it was just pretty much dead time. SRCC is just dead time, dude. Like, you hardly ever come out. When you do, you go to the yard, you go outside. Everybody's on the same trip. Everybody's trying to be a badass, but at the same time, everybody's nervous because you don't know where you're going or what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then you just hear stories like dudes that come down, from Nellis, from YTS, and they start hearing stories, and then home will start telling the story, and then it just gets from one thing to the other thing, and everybody's like, oh shit, I'm gonna go there, like, what's going on.
Yeah.
So SRCC was chill, and then I think towards December '92 to January '93, that's when I rolled up to Nellis. Now when I got to Nellis, uh, I was there. I believe I was there for the first, if not the second, group of norteños that got there. Right.
Okay.
Um, I remember. This is the thing. People remember things differently. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I be seeing on the channel, and I'm not
Mhm.
trying to speak bad or nothing, but I remember certain things a little bit different than how they put them out there.
Yeah.
I clearly remember. Yeah, I remember the homies were going to KP, you know, they were getting ready, and the norteños were already in the what's it called, in the living room, and everybody was already tense because you feel the tension when you get there, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I remember two or three homies went out first, and they started getting down right away, you
Yeah.
know. Then after that, the gang coordinator,
Yeah.
um,
Newman.
Newman,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it, Brooke, Dookie Ross was there still.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah. It says keep it. What do you say? Keep it simple, Junior. Shit like
so
that.
so so dude used to let you fight. You get
Yeah.
me? He used to let you fight. I guess in his mind he thought, okay, I'm gonna let these Southsiders get down with the Northsiders 1-on-1. That's cool, but you know it's not gonna happen like that when it comes to a bigger group. Because one thing was you getting down with your enemy right there that he let you get down 1-on-1.
Yeah.
Then when a whole group of Norteños come down, you know.
Yeah.
So as soon as they open the door, I remember a bunch of homies rush the door, you know, and you just start finding Norteños. You just start finding Norteños, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the first riot. You know, it wasn't that big, but it was the first riot. Remember?
Yeah.
They took some of the homies, they left some of us, and they left some Norteños. And I remember we had a Newman brought us, and one side was Norteños, one side was us, Southsiders. And I clearly remember homies, they have brought some Fresno Bulldogs. I This I clearly remember when that dude, one of the Fresno Bulldogs was telling us, hey, we're not Norteños. You know, they were like, we're not Norteños, we're Centrales, you know? And to me, that's the first time I ever heard of Centrales. I mean, come on, I'm struggling to figure out what the fuck I'm doing, you know, like being
Yeah.
a Southsider. Now you throw these other shit on top of me. And I clearly remember a homie saying, like, hey, you know, we're not even Norteños, you know, we're fucking Centrales, we're Fresno's Bulldogs, you know. He goes, up and stay, we're good with you guys.
Yeah.
And the homies weren't having it, you know. So there we had the next one, you know. So my stay in Truman was really quick because from there, uh, you went to Taft, and then from Taft, obviously, I got sent to Washington.
Hmm.
And
How was it in Washington?
in Washington, when I got there, well, obviously, you know, Washington was the paisa, you know. Um, so when I got to the unit, you know, like almost everybody that spoke Spanish, and everybody that was paisa, even the gangsters that were paisa, you know. So
Yeah.
it was cool. It was more comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, we had a lot of freedom, so it wasn't like fools were eager to just fuck shit up. Most of all, we didn't get any norteños in it, you know.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland got them, Madison and Monroe, I think. So they were the ones that were having that to fight with them. Then after that issue in Truman, I only got to fight with them in riots in the school area, you know, on the school area. And so when we get to Washington, obviously, somebody pulls you to the side. They give you the rundown, you know. They tell you
Yeah.
what's going on. They give you the rules, the reglas, and it was filming, you know, like that's the thing, dog. You know, like I feel like I got lucky, my because I got straight put in places where it was mellow, homie. You know,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I got down. You know, I got tested. Like the story with that my shit got taken from my locker, and I threw the blast, and then that thing it was my bad. This African American guy, he it turned out he took him. You know,
Yeah.
but so to make a long story short, I packed him. I barely packed him when I came, you know.
Yeah.
And the dude, he had been in the front. He was big. I mean, like, he was on soil. Yeah, I was scared, but you know, I just rolled in. I had to do it. You know, he
Yeah. I
was
gotta handle
asleep,
business.
and I had to do it. Crawl under the shore wall till I got. He had the last double bunk towards the wall towards the end, and I did. I mean, you know, I did. He jumped up and he didn't rush me. He didn't rush me. He ran towards the office. He ran towards the office. I don't know why. Maybe because he was about to go home. I don't know why he did it, you know.
Yeah.
But that was my first test right there, you know. Um, then obviously you get down with your enemiga on the vans, you know, when they're dropping you off in the vans. I fought there like 3 4 times, I think, inside the vans. And then on landscaping I fought a few times,
Yeah.
you know. Because it's the same thing. You have your enemy, you just find a blind spot and then just go at it. You go at it, you know. But then after that, after you fight a few times, everybody's like, at least to my experience, fools leave you alone.
Yeah.
Those don't really trip on you. It's
Yeah, because
like,
fools in Hawaii normally they're not gonna fuck with you if they can't. You know what I mean?
mhm,
It's like that's what I always try to tell people because they're like, how does somebody get like all fucked up and shit like that? And I was like, well, they have to see something in you to think that they can push it that far. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because if they can't, if you show a little bit of resistance, then a lot of times they're gonna back up because it's just not worth the effort. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But if you let them go further and further, then
yeah.
motherfucker,
That's when they start
yeah,
going because they play mind games with you. You get me?
yeah,
So I remember the little dude, Danger from Northside Bullet. He tried to fuck with me. I remember he was trying to fuck with me. Dog. I know he fucking thought about it like I'm gonna drop this fool, you know.
yeah,
Um, but so he called me in to get down in the in the toilet area,
yeah,
So we are getting down, everything, whatever, and for some reason I don't even know why that I decided to turn and just went like that, and with my elbow I clocked him right here, and then he fell at a distance. That was he didn't fuck with me after that, but he was really cool after that. You get me?
yeah,
He didn't fuck with me after that no more. After dating him, he was.
yeah,
But I mean, he wasn't a punk. That dude was down, dude. That dude was fucking. He was a little writer, like he would start shit right away. He's one of those kids that like to be in the middle of shit,
yeah,
like a fight, whatever. So he'll run up to like, what's going on, like
yeah,
instigating that. Or he'll be like, how they mess with you, like pressure, like if you're a pressure case, like,
yeah, yeah,
ooh, like you gotta let him say that. You gotta, yeah, who's fuck with you like that, dude, in there,
yeah,
and so that was one time, and then Washington was super cool because we had connections to frajos, we had connections to liquor, there was a lot of money going to there sometimes, like in Nellis, there's a lot of money
yeah,
that flows, Um so we used to it was like cap kind of, like being in a cap, except that you had to fight, hold your own, and it's not like I was over there trying to make a name, try to be a badass, like I was just trying to fucking catch up to the game and just live, like
yeah, yeah,
see what's going on, Um, I spent in Washington about I think 3 years, 3 something years in Washington, you know,
yeah,
just going to the box here and there, getting into fights other than that, whatever. Um, there were some big ass vatos right there when I got there. There were some dudes that were on salt. I remember some paisa from my country. Oh yeah, at this time, Salvadorians didn't like me.
oh shit,
Yeah, they didn't like me because I wasn't from La Mara. You get me?
yeah,
So these fools thought I was a what's it called, like a traitor.
yeah,
And Chicanos, well, obviously they were like, what the fuck, like you're not a Chicano, like. But so I was kind of like in between,
yeah,
you know. Um, so um, like I had a little issues, verbal issues, like who's trying to talk a little shit. But
yeah,
like I told you, my aunt had me on game with the Mexican slang, you know,
yeah,
the Spanish. So I knew what they were saying, and I was able to like shoot it back at them, like up
yeah,
to the
yeah,
day I'm able, like I clown around like that, and I was able to shoot it back, and then they'll chip out like, "What the fuck? Like, where you learn how to speak like that?" Like my handful. They're like, "Well, I thought you were Salvia." Like, yeah, I'm Salvadorian, but doesn't mean,
yeah,
like what does he say that I have to be from La Mana? You get me? There's
yeah,
nothing in say that, oh, you're Salvadorian, you gotta be from La Mana. Like, no, dude. So I became cool with them, Then the homies rolled up, Rusty, because I knew Rusty from inside TMC since the house,
yeah,
since Central. Um, he rolled up, then uh, he became a Ramfla, then Little Lefty from Wilmas, Little Man from Whittier. I don't remember which part of from Whittier, but he's from Whittier, called Little Man. Um, Rascal from Mexican Power, and so we had a really cool Ramfly. We had a little Ramfly that we had shit. Well, you get me? We
yeah,
we had we had stuff, and so when you finally get settle and you get a little cool fools, around you and all that, life gets better.
Yeah.
Life gets better. So so things started to get better down in there, and I mean, like as far as war stories, I mean, like uh it's just regular fights, things that
Yeah.
everybody goes through. Everybody has been through it. You go behind the handball wall, wait for them to not to look, and then you get down and same old thing, just different guy, different person.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did the story about the homie from Mexican Power that they killed his brother
Oh shit.
outside. See, trip out, man. It's three brothers, right? The homie Rascal, his brother that got killed, Spanky, and his other brother that was a guy that works at the picking up dead people. So
Oh
they gave
shit.
the homie a call, and homie went to that call, and he had to pick up his own brother.
Oh fuck.
So he told him he came to talk to the homie Rascal.
Yeah.
Um, and when we're in visiting, his brother walked in, and then he looked at this other African American. He goes, "Hey," he goes, "That's him." He goes, "That's one of the guys
Oh shit.
that killed him." And then so the homie came back. We came back from visiting, and then I would say, the homie was like, "Hey, like you my Rafa, we're gonna do this or what?" And
Yeah.
yeah, we were all down with it. Like we were all down with it. You know how you get the shanks over there of the little freaking metal, the freaking the beds and all that. You start making your shank,
Yeah. Yeah.
sharpening it, and then you start putting it, like start getting it infected with stuff, like whatever, like a lot of stuff. So we did a few of those shanks. The purpose was to kill the two.
Yeah.
Um, and then so the plan was one of the homies got a lot of weed, right? So we went, and the vato's ranfla, the African American, he had a
Yeah.
big ranfla too. So we figured, hey, something's gonna pop up, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember we were like, okay, so his ranfla was on the table. The vato have started walking towards the way, and so the homies, the other ranfla and me, we went around the his ranfla.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we all had shacks. You get me? And so the homie lefty, he popped out a bag of weed, you know. He goes, "Hey, we're gonna start rolling up. We're gonna roll up some joints." We told them dudes, "Hey, can you guys watch out for us?" So they were keeping Twitch for us. But
Yeah.
we were there in case when shit pops up, if they got up, we're just gonna get them.
Yeah.
Um, so the homie walks, finds the guy, and he starts walking on back of the guy, whatever. Next thing you know, it just goes right here,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the dude, he's shocked. He's standing there, and his thing just starts gushing out, and he
Oh
starts running
fuck.
to the middle of the yard. And he starts like he was shocked. He was in shock. He ran to the middle of the yard, and he dropped in the middle of the yard.
Damn.
Um, so his Rafla got up. When his Rafla got up, we got up.
Yeah.
And they seen the shank, but I think they were up snake. Well, why was that? Why that was happening? And they didn't. Nothing popped up.
Oh shit.
They were like they were filming us too. They were filming African Americans, dudes that we clown with, and like because
Yeah.
you got filming dudes right there that
Yeah. Hell yeah.
you know so, but that was more like a personal issue,
Yeah.
and the homie did ended up getting uh he got busted for it.
He caught a case.
Yeah, he got one.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. That's what people like. That's how you always know when like people will say like their stories, and if they're true, like a lot of the times, because they'll be like, yeah. If you hear somebody say like, I was booking people in YA, they'd be like,
mhm.
did you catch a case? Nah, well, probably, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's kind of hard to believe
Yeah.
because normally, at least when I was there, if you use like a shank,
Mhm.
like or any really like shank or a blade to slice somebody,
Mhm.
you're catching a case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the DA will pick that shit up. But if like you beat somebody down with a pack, yeah, a lot of the times you'll get away with that shit. Or you mean
Get a write up.
yeah, yeah,
Get a write up in
yeah,
campaign.
yeah. But if you
Yeah.
use like a filero or a blade, Like
Mhm.
they're gonna fucking ship your ass off to the joint.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, no, the homie got caught. He got busted for it. So the vato didn't die. He didn't die, right? So he
Yeah.
was in a infirmary for a few weeks. They
Damn.
rolled up his shit. Everybody was like passing his shit out,
Yeah.
So when he got back out, he got back from the infirmary. He went to Jackson, and Jackson was kind of like a stupid place to go. To be tripping in Jackson. The
Yeah.
homie, I remember the homie from Vicky Style. He was like, "Hey, dude," he goes like, "We got the vato that the homie went down for." He goes like, "Yeah, guess what?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm pimping that fool." He was like, "I'm pimping that fool. Like, look at my Nikes." He's like, look at
Damn.
my shit." He's like, "Yeah." So after that guy he had a little bit rough, like he rolled it up and he just gave up. I mean, I don't I guess something like that, when it happens to you, it changes your mind,
Yeah.
because he was a big guy too, dude. Like he could have easily just came back and fought,
Yeah.
try to get everybody back, everyone that was involved, like like, hey, I'm get these guys back or whatever, But now he gave out. He gave up.
Damn.
He gave up, and he they were like they were charging him rent to be in Jackson. Period.
Damn.
Anywhere he went, he had to charge. He had to pay.
Under the guns.
Yeah. So
Damn.
there were a few fools right there paying rent too. Like on Jackson, I remember they had this other little this dude, this little paisita dude.
Yeah.
He was there for molesting his little sister.
Oh fuck.
Right. They were fucking that fool up. That dude used to, they were fucking him up. But that's what he gets. He gave me for what he's busted. You
Yeah.
know. Um, they were making that dude do sexual favors, dude taking because we had those instant cameras in there. You used to be able to get those shit. And they were just doing that dude really dirty. But
Damn.
hey, that's you deserve that shit. You get me?
Yeah, you can't be fucking
Uh,
with little kids.
yeah, you deserve that shit, because them fools in YA, they really get. If you're a sexual offender or a molester in YA, you really got, dude. You know, you really got. Um, when I
They
was in
didn't have that
Ventura,
they didn't have that fucking what was it? Which college was that? Carter? Wasn't they weren't sending them fools to Carter?
yeah, they did, but for, some fools they didn't
Oh, okay.
they didn't go. I mean, like the PC one you're talking about.
Yeah, the one next to Nixon where the
Yeah, the one
yeah.
yeah, but not I guess you really had to like ask for it to
Oh
go,
shit.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, to be honest, I don't know why he wasn't there. The dude wasn't Jackson. You get me?
Damn. Yeah.
I remember in Ventura, I ran into another story of one of those guys, but this time it was a midget.
Yeah.
And I remember the homie Negro, he's a Southsider from up north. He was like, and this one was about to go home that same week.
Yeah, yeah.
The homie was about to go home. So he went to the shower with the midget. The staff let the midget go in the shower. And of course, they already know what happens. If you're a Southsider and you get one of those guys,
Yeah.
it's a mandatory thing. You got to do something.
Yeah.
So why the homie decides to fucking start raping that fool in the shower? And
Ah,
all
fuck.
you could hear was that dude screaming and asking for help. And after he did that, the staff just turned around. They turned their back, and then the homie did what he did, and then he fucking started fucking that fool up. He stumped him, dude, and the staff just let him do what he had to do, and then but they still got him. They still got the homie, like he still got
Damn.
time and shit for that shit. But the staff were vicious, man. They get you. They let people get you, dog. Again,
Damn.
so Nellis was cool, man. Nellis, in Nellis, I learned I started going to school. You
Yeah.
get me? Nellis, I took my first high school equivalent test or whatever, of course in classroom, you don't give a fucking class, you go in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
it's like everybody's fucking around. I remember this guy, Duico, I don't know, he was there when you were there.
Yeah, the math teacher, Duico from
Yeah, he was like,
he's
Duico,
from
Isai
east side,
Kenya.
east side, and then the other the homie was from the west side. I forgot. Which
Yeah, like that
yeah,
dude stink, no, it's so like Sobaco,
that fool was
like
cool. He was cool.
yeah,
I
no, he
didn't
was
really
cool.
notice. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but his class was just fucking around, like
Yeah.
fucking joking around and whatever. Then we had Brian Hart. I don't know if Brian Hart was there.
I don't remember him.
He had a hunchback. He
Oh
had a
shit.
big hunchback, and then but he was like a pressure case. And so we were there. He always like, everybody, be quiet. And I was like, fuck you. Like he used to pass out the books. He used to pass
Yeah.
out the books. And you know how you had the windows on the side window? The
Yeah.
homies just throw the books to the fucking outside the window. And that fool would pull out the pen, and the guys would come in running. What's going on? What's going on? And I'd be like, there's no fight. And they'd be like, they look outside, all the books are outside the window, shit, like, on the floor. Uh, Fools didn't care. Fools didn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. Then we had those stampedes, around the school area
Yeah.
when the homies would just decide, okay, they start running, first group, the next group, then everybody, and then you see the levels, you see like these norteños and just start fucking them up or whatever, and the stampedes people would come out shank too.
Yeah.
Um, so then the whole school area, everybody, just start doing it just because the staff can really stop that. You
Yeah.
get me? Oh, but once it stops, like the dude starts fucking up.
There's a fucking yeah.
Yeah.
And what would really suck is when there'd be like a big of like riot or whatever, like big group disturbance, and
Mhm.
they'll spray your ass and handcuff you and just leave you on the motherfucking sidewalk, just burning up. Like, God damn, man, hurry
Yeah.
the fuck up.
They got me with the fogger one time, like on the face.
Yeah.
Actually, when I left Nellis, like with the homies, we were rolling up weed.
Yeah.
But we came out. You know how you come in? The classrooms that are right to the right.
Yeah.
You know how there's a hallway right there,
Yeah.
and then there's a classroom. Okay, in that hallway, we were right there. We're rolling it up, and so us three came out. The homie little Spanky from my neighborhood, and what's his name? Crook from Lennox. Um, so we came out, we're running it up, and we're like this, we're tripping. And then so the norteños come out because that's where the norteños were, and they thought we were trying to do something. They just rushed us. It rushes. So we were right there getting, because at that point it was more of them than us right there in that spot. There was more of
Yeah.
them than us. So we were getting fucked up. Well, we were fighting, but obviously we were getting got. And then I turn around and I just see this fucking fogger just go,
Ooh.
and then I started going, like, yeah, that thing was horrible, man. I thought I
Yeah.
was choking, man, like nasty, like nasty. That thing was crazy though. But
And
Nellis was pretty cool. I mean, like that was home. You
yeah.
get me, compared to Paso, Ventura, or I was in White Tears, but I wasn't really in White Tears. I was just there on receiving till I got to Terminal Island. Um, that's it. So, but Nellis was home.
Yeah.
That's where um Oh, that story too. I got to mess around with the with the lady with one of the what's it called? Those volunteer ladies,
The
Argentina
grandparent
lady.
program.
Yeah, the grandparent programs. Hey, but you've been down for a while, but like you learn from homies. Like you see homies doing it. Like, okay, I'm gonna try that shit. And then
Yeah.
next thing you know, she's bringing you fucking podcasts and she's bringing you stuff. Like shit.
Yeah.
Like what else? Especially when nobody writes to you, she used to write to me too. Like I finally got mail.
Yeah.
Because yeah, fools kill time zone one
Yeah.
way or the other. Like um, and yeah, most of the riots right there, I was there. It was pure with norteños, and it was all in it was all in what's it called, in school area for me after Washington.
Yeah.
And I like, even sorry to bring this up, but like I told you, like this book right
Yeah.
here, I even have I even have a riot right here on one of the chapters.
This is a book that you wrote, right?
Yeah, this is the second book. There was called Gang Related.
Mm.
Let me see. I had chapter 15 for CYA,
All
and
right. All
then
right.
the next one, the next chapter 16 is called A Common Goal, because it is like a common goal. Like once it comes to that, every Sureño gets fucking together. I mean, like it doesn't matter if you have your enemy or whatever.
Yeah.
They come together and then you guys are just doing it.
Well,
Um,
let me ask about that now. Um, how did you get into writing?
uh, that okay. I went to Paso, right? So
Mhm.
after Nellis, I went to Paso. In Paso, I went to Morro, which was the main line,
Yeah.
and they used to call us morons, because
Yeah.
Morro, well, Morro had the reputation of always kicking it off.
Yeah.
It always had right. And this is another thing I'm telling you, that the whole time I was there, it was cool, it was kickback, because at the time the staff I got in there, that he used to let us fight.
Yeah.
Like you guys have issues, you guys could take it out on the yard. He used to put it on during count time.
Yeah.
During count time, he used to let us out and he'd take us to the yard and we used to get down right there. And the staff were cool like that over there.
Yeah.
So I guess it was, there was only like one or two riots when I was there. So from there, I started going to school. In school, I had this class called landscaping in Paso. This guy Tom Ogren that I was telling you about, the guy looked like Hulk Hogan, big, tall, white boy, long hair,
Yeah.
built up, to get in that class, because he was cool, but he didn't want no snitches, or like he used to call, he don't want little bitches, excuse my language, in his class. It used to be straight out.
Yeah.
Um, so you had to chew habaneros for like uh 10, 20 seconds, and those things are hot. Those
Yeah.
things are nice. And after that, if you did that, you had to go around with it, like you had to box him because he was golden gloves. So I did, and I fought him.
Yeah.
Like I didn't fight. He fucked me up, but I tried. But
Yeah.
I did hit him in the face, like I got him on the face, and that was it. It was over for me, he fucked me up. But he after that, like he used to give you your own bed of flower. When you're in landscaping, like nursery, when you
Okay.
grow your own plants, your own food, he used to
Yeah.
give you your own bed.
Okay.
And it's better to what call your own little square of dirt where you're gonna
Yeah.
do your own thing. And he used to like, encourage you to do things, because he goes like, if you learn to grow something, it take time to grow something, then you learn to appreciate it because it's yours.
Yeah.
You get me? You're doing it. And he used to do it this way, not with words. You get me? So then he started talking about writing books because he had wrote one. And he used to tell us, there's two things you gotta do when you get out. You gotta either hitchhike across country or whatever, but get out of the state and
Yeah.
come back, because you gotta come back a different person, and
Yeah.
then write a book. And then write a book. You're gonna see the difference of what you are now and what you're gonna be then after you come back.
Yeah.
So he put that thing on my head. You get me? He put that thing on my head. That was in '96. So in '96, I tried to do my first draft, but I got to my first chapter and it was like, I really don't have that much things to talk about.
Yeah.
You get me? So I stopped. You get me? I stopped. So in a way, I guess I had to wait for more life experiences.
Yeah.
And even that, I think that was an excuse on me, because I could have wrote it by then. You get me? But I think I was looking for the courage to actually do it,
Yeah.
because um I'm not really in detail on my book, because this is my second book. Like my first book called The Struggle that I wrote.
Yeah.
Um, I should have paid more attention to it. I should have dedicated more time to it, but I wanted to know if I could do it. You get me? It's one of those things where, fuck it, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You get me? And I'm glad I did it, because then that taught me more about the second one. You get me? I guess there's times where you really need to put yourself in a situation where, like, hey, dude, okay, I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing, but I want to do this. You get me? I want to do this, and I want to put it out. And so I did. Like that. It's that type of situation. You get me?
Yeah.
Um. So I got the inspiration to start writing. He put that in Paso. In Paso. That was He's the one who put that in my head.
Yeah.
To ride and go across country. Obviously, I had just got here, fucking barely knew California, LA. Um, so right there, like it was a cool class, landscaping class. Like we used to have battles with the other landscaping class, go steal their watermelons, fucking, and used to have wars. Like he used to let us cook our own stuff, like with the noodles.
Oh, dope.
We bring the noodles, and we used to grow so we used to grow like vegetables and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and we used to cook our own soup with that, like mixing noodles and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And and then he used to have us run laps around the football field, you know, like every time he goes like, go ahead, run the laps a whole mile, go run your mile at the end, like before the class end. We
Yeah.
used to go run a mile. He goes, the last quarter mile, just give it all you got. Just give it all you got, you know? And then we'll be like, all right, fuck it, you know? So we used to run and yeah, do exactly what he said. He goes, okay. He goes, he used to be like, okay, so in life, he goes, you start slow, but once you start catching up and you know what you want, just give it all you got. Don't stop. You know,
Yeah.
he always used to tell us stuff like that, you know, like um that in a way, you know, like I guess I have mentors because
Mm-hmm.
even in Nellis, the staff that, you know, that kind of got in trouble because of the grammar
Yeah.
thing, you know, even here when I was in Taft, we had issues in Washington. We used to talk shit to each other and all that shit. But when I got to Taft, when I was about to leave to Paso, he went over there and talked to me. He goes, you know, hey Carlos, you know, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He goes, but you seem, you know, he goes, like he told me, you know, like he hoped for me to get my shit together and do something in life instead of being right here, like it's the same shit. I'm like, okay. He goes, and I know you're going to a different place. He goes, but just remember, changes are always good.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you take advantage of it and learn, whatever you learn from here, you take it and you keep growing. He goes, changes are always good. He goes, don't ever be afraid to change. And he
Yes,
was
sir.
cool, you know. And I remember that from him, Mr. Sledge. I don't know if you ever met him. Some uh, African American tall guy. He was like the red type of African American.
Hmm. Sounds
Um,
familiar.
he
Sledge?
He's Sledge. Yeah, he
Yeah,
always
yeah,
really he
yeah.
looks mean. He
Yeah,
looks
yeah. I
mean
think
as
I
hell.
yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the people that too, you know, that took his time with me, you know.
Yeah.
Um and so then on Paso, I was in Morro, and again, it's the same story all over again. You gotta fight, get
Yeah.
into riots, you go to the box, Gym TD, you know, then you get out, tell your war stories, the homies, go to school, KK, get into a fight again, and whatever, you know, same thing. Or so from there, I worked my way to San Simeon, you know, like I in Paso, I got my high school diploma.
All right, all
So
right.
I was happy. I mean, I was happy because by now I already understood English, you know, like
Yeah.
by now I was like I was getting to know everything, and then I was reading, you know, I started reading, and so I was like, well, I want to see if I get my college, you know. So I started taking classes from Paso, college classes from Paso, you know,
Yeah.
from San Simeon, and from San Simeon, it just happened that the new superintendent from Paso was the old superintendent from Ventura, and I wrote her a letter, you know, and telling her, hey, you know, I'm trying to get my college thing, but I want to go to all college where there's more college classes where you have more to choose from,
Opportunity. Yeah.
and the only one that I knew so far it was Ventura or DeWitt, I think. And of course, I don't want to go up north.
Yeah.
I want to go to Ventura as the furthest that I wanted to go, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously, because they're girls, you know,
Yeah.
that's one of the big things, you know. I haven't been around girls in years by this time, and so she accepted my thing, and I made it to Ventura, you know, with a
Oh
letter.
yeah, that'll work.
With a letter, I made it to Ventura. I got to Ventura, and right there, the homies still give you like no, there's still rules, reglas, and
Yeah.
everything, but by the time you get to Ventura, it's like all right, like you know, I think I was about to be 18 already, or I was 18 already, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so by the time you know, like after a while, you're like same old shit. Okay, I want to try this shit, you know. So I started doing my college classes, and the girls they fuck with you right there, you know, like you see the girls uh because the first time I had a music class, you get me? Had a music class, and there were these white girls right there, and it's like you're fresh blood. I mean, like they could smell that you're just coming from Hawaii, that's Peruatas, and they were like, hey, you know, like what's up? And so because it was co-ed when I got there, like you were in class with them, you know.
Yeah.
So they used to have these in canteen they sell these Jolly Rancher sticks, the flat
Yeah.
sticks. And so what the girls used to do when I got there, they used to stick them in them
Oh shit.
and then give them to you. Like, oh hey, you want a candle? Like, yeah, you know. But hey, but what's it called? A lot of fools used to do it. Like take him, dude. You know, like, well, I guess if you had a hyena there, you have to, hey, do this for me, or you should just, you know, like stuff. She do stuff for you. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
the whole time I was there, two girls came out pregnant.
Oh shit.
You know,
Yeah.
one, but about one came out pregnant when we were co-ed. I was there at the time where they separated us. We no longer had class with them,
Yeah.
and then probably 8 to 9 months after, another girl came out pregnant.
When there's
You
no more
get
co-ed.
me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's no more co-ed. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. It was fun. It made time easier. You get me?
Yeah.
Now getting to Ventura, I started reading psychology, criminology, sociology, yeah, everything, you know, that the homies tell you to read. Hey, read this shit, read that, read that. Read that book, Sons of the Shaking Earth, all kinds of stuff. So you could start, I guess, educating yourself,
Yeah.
and you start deciding what you really want to do. I guess, you know, you're gonna continue to fuck around, or you're gonna see if you want to do something else. But whatever you do, you almost have to be, you have to read something, because if you notice it, as you get up in state, everybody's like well read, you know.
Yeah.
So you need to start educating yourself, so you don't start, so you stop being stop being an knucklehead, you know,
Yeah.
and start thinking about what you do, because things get serious. So yeah, I and then I got a job there too. I was doing since I was doing landscaping in Paso, I got in this labor crew. That's what it's called. And we used to do the landscaping. We used to wax floors. We used to do the stump grinding, and we used to do roofing. I really learned a lot right there, you know. And they used to
Yeah.
pay. And they used to pay. That was a good thing, you know.
Oh
Like they
hell
used to
yeah.
give you like 25 cents an hour or something like that, you know.
That'll work
Um,
though.
and it works because in Wyoming, you know, when nobody's sending you money, you gotta do it somehow. Huh?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's another thing. You learn to hustle there, because when you don't have money, dog, you know, like you don't have that income. When your people can't send you none, you know, like that's it's all on you. You get me?
Yeah.
Um, such about. I could summarize all this and to be like tell you, it's like I learned. I guess I learned a lot from people. You know, there I learned to grow in there with everybody else.
Yeah.
So I was looking at everybody ever since Nellis. You know, I was looking at everybody was doing it, and I would try to mimic it.
Yeah.
You get me? Because that's how I taught myself. Like I told you last time, how I learned English. I used to repeat what the cartoons used to say on the TV. You
Yeah.
get me? And when I was in TAF, when I was in lockdown, that's when I started working on my pronunciation. That's why you hear me with my accent, you know, because it was so you get me.
Yeah.
But it's your mind, whatever you decide to do. You get me? It's all in your head. You either see the bad in it and be like, oh fuck, that was my traumatizing time, or be like, hey, I learned from that. You know, I learned to grow. I learned to kind of be a man. You know, I learned to see where I was gonna be, where I was gonna go. You know, because it also teaches you that. You
Yeah.
get me? Um, another lesson I had there, like I told you, in Nellis, um, I was going down by the laundry room, and then there's two crepes, you know, and like try to jump in the laundry room, you know. Um, and then the dude that got in it was my enemy, you
Yeah.
know, some other from enemies. And it's like, you know, like why is he jumping in for me?
Yeah.
You know, when he should have been like, fuck, at third one, like, hey, fuck, let me help. You get me?
Yeah.
So you learn that sometimes it's a choice, you know, what you do, because that was those females fucking me after that, you know, like I'll be honest, dude, like that dude was female, you know, like shit. I mean, you know, how can you not? You get me?
Yeah.
After something like that, you know. Um, that wasn't just the first time on Ventura. One time we were on lockdown, and we didn't have shit for months. We like nothing. And we were hungry, and I remember another homie from my business. It was like, hey, he goes like, hey, dispensa. He was like, he, I don't know how I came up with some noodles, some sopas, and he was like, hey, dog. He goes like, he hooked me up with an extra, Um, and yeah, like, sorry, I don't know why this thing. Hold on. Sorry, I don't know why this thing's trying to give me the news. Yeah, so like we share a bowl.
Yeah.
Because we were both angry, like because once hunger kicks in, it really like you're just a Sureño, or you're just a Southsider, or you're just a person. You get me?
Yeah.
You just raza, like if you notice in the whole time you're in there, it's all about the raza, the raza this, raza that, and raza. But within raza, we're fucking each other up. You get me?
Yeah.
Most of the time, and then I guess you get put in some situations where like I could have easily said no.
Yeah.
You get me? I could easily say no, but it's like, nah, fuck, I'm fucking hungry now. And things like that you remember, you get me?
Yeah.
So my whole YA experience, then after Ventura, well, obviously, I didn't have any papers. I was barely fixing my papers. I got parole. They sent me to YTS so INS could pick me up. And then I was in YTS. I ran to the homie Dopey again, fucking 8 years later. He was doing laundry again. He was because you know how you get in there, they put you in those little boxes and to give you your clothes and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was right there, and I was just tripping out. Like it's good to see him, because I saw him out here too. And so I got picked up by the freaking INS, and they took me to Terminal Island in San Pedro. That thing was, I got there and it was like it was different. It was open day room all day, open dorm, open day room. So day, nighttime, whatever. Besides, you couldn't even see the sun anyway, so you didn't even know if it was day or night. So the first thing they did was, hey, they pull you to the side, be like, hey, let me get your number. And like, first they ask you what are your Paisa or South Side, and then you tell them. So like, okay, South Side. All right, come on. He's like, hey, let me get your number. They're like, all right. Like for what? And, like when I check if you have a jacket or not.
Yeah.
Get my number. He goes, wait, like you coming from why? Like, yeah. Like, all right, well, whatever. He still took it,
Yeah.
He still took it. But I was tripping out, like, damn, already getting out, and this shit is getting deeper, like
Yeah.
the homie from I forgot they call the homie, but he was from Linwood, yeah, he was telling me, oh yeah, because he told me, like, hey, they gotta know what's up with you, what you carry, this whole few years, what's happened to you, like we gotta know who we're around with, and they started telling me, then the homie Casper from Northside Pasa was there, and I don't know why he was there. Dude looked straight white boy, dog, like skinny white boy, and that dude was well read. We started talking about books. That dude started telling me about psychology. He started like telling me some words. That's where I got my my email name.
Yeah.
It's longer, but he gave me some. He started telling me this means Sureño, this means Southerner or whatever. So I put that like, but in Mexica, Nahuatl. Uh-huh. So that used to trip me. I really like that though, when he used to talk to, because they dudes got freaking knowledge. I mean, they start telling you,
Oh yeah.
like, hey, like, so I had good conversations right there, and then you get to trip out on other fools. We rolled up what's it called, a Russian dude right there, Armenian Russian, I guess, big toe white boy dude. I don't even know why. Just the rep right there was some vato from 18,
Yeah.
Crow from 18. And he was like, hey, you guys gotta roll that guy up. I'm like, well, fuck, they tell you, the rep tells you, like, pues ni modo,
Yeah.
and good thing it was a bunch of us. It was a bunch of us from YA too. It was a bunch of us from YA too. We just went, and then I got out. Well, when I got out, it was already 2001,
Damn.
right? So it
Yeah.
was 2001, and I remember going to the 110 freeway, and they picked me up, and I was nervous. I was nervous. I was like, damn, I haven't been out here for a while. I it wasn't fear of like whatever is gonna happen,
Yeah.
you know. It was more fear like, fuck, I'm not used to this shit, you know. Like I want to be indoors, you know. When I got to the house, I was like, I did my best, and I just went to lock myself inside the room, which was
Yeah.
fucking stupid because I was already out. You get me? And I guess you come out with that mentality after a while. You know, it doesn't seem like it, but after a few years, you know, things go on in your head. And so homies from YA went to pick me up because they already knew what was gonna happen. You know, because by this time I was supposed to. I have you do time with homies. You get me?
Yeah.
You do time with homies, and they get out at the same time as you, and you see them right before you get out. Be like, hey, I'm gonna look you up. You know,
Yeah.
there was this point where the homie went pick me up, the homie Rascal from Bree, um, and some other homie that I met in Nellis back in '93 that I hadn't seen for a while, Moreno from 18. Um, you know, Moreno was all into the Aztec stuff. You know, like he was really into Aztec stuff, dancing and everything. You know,
Yeah.
and so they went pick me up, and they started hooking me up. You know, like we started going places to go look for work.
Yeah.
We started going to like parole offices together. But since you can't be with another parolee, I don't know if you got to go to Wilcox, the parole office right there.
Yeah. Montebello.
Yeah, Montebello.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Yeah.
okay,
I used to go to that one.
okay. So that's where I used to go, and so on the parking lot on the side, we all used to split because there was at one point that was like, I think it was about 8 or 9 of us that were busted over there. That we were out here chilling. We're going to clubs at night on the weekend. We used to go to the Grand. We used to go to the Mayan. To the we used to go to the one on what's it called, that club, that the one that Drake talks about on his song, that thing's over there by the airport. um
I don't
so
know.
because see, the homies, obviously most of the jobs that we could get were in restaurants
Yeah.
or in clubs. So obviously we used to go because one of us either worked there and used to hook us up. You get me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So but my point to that is that when you get out, it really helps. You get me, to have somebody that you've been busted with and it's already out here, already knows how hard it is, you know, because if you just get out on your own, you're really kind of at a place like, okay, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah.
You know, like I learned all this shit and all that, but what's going on? Um, so all right, so I told you about why and all that. I'm sorry, I don't um like what I could tell you about my experience in YA is that I see it as me being lucky. I had
Yeah.
a place to sleep. I had a place to eat, shower, go to school. You get me?
Yeah.
Of course, like I said, I had to fight and all that. But I think when the struggle starts is when you get out.
Yeah.
You get me? I think that's where we all fuck. You know, most of us, not everybody. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta really know where you're going or be strong minded, because once you get out, things are different. You know,
Yeah.
you get used to, you get institutionalized, and you get out with the same mentality. You know, I'm not trying to preach or whatever. I'm just trying to say like some awareness. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Um, like homies get out. That's why I like to think, because it's like you have the white baby stuff and all that. You know, like and that's really cool. You know, that's really cool to somebody that's been to YA and start telling these stories of getting people to come to YA so they could see everybody struggle while going in there and after. You get me?
Yeah.
Because once you get out, all that thing where somebody like you want to fight everybody that fucking you think is respecting you or not giving you the attention that you deserve, that goes out the window, because um out here people think different.
Yeah.
When you're trying to look for a job, you can't take it personal if they don't take you because you don't have an experience. You can't feel disappointed because you go to 3, 4, 5 jobs and nobody takes you. You know, you can't give up. You know, like you can't get depressed or try not to. You know, like and I told you, you know, like homies get depressed out here and they try to commit suicide. Like we had a homie that he committed suicide.
Damn.
Um, depression too, because life is hard out here, you know, and it's a different type of hard. You know, it's like in there you could fight whatever issues get into. You could fight whoever's messing with you. Right here, it's life messing with you. You get me?
Yeah.
Um, the thing about that is that once you learn your lesson, whatever it is that you need to learn, you know, life doesn't get easier. You just become a little bit more um wiser, I
Yeah.
guess, a little bit stronger, and you know how to deal with things. And come on, let's put it like this: like, I've been homeless twice, right? I didn't get into drugs to become a drug addict until after I got out of Hawaii. I was already older. You get me?
Yeah.
I had my kids, and then I still fucked up. You get me? So just because you got out of YA doesn't mean that everything is gonna be good and dandy after that. No, just because
Yeah.
you think you're getting out of YA and you're gonna have a better life after that, it's not that easy. You gotta be a little bit realistic and expect to have issues along the way, you know,
Yeah.
and not just little issues. You're gonna have big issues, you know, but so long as you keep it in mind on what you're trying to acquire and like get a goal. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Little by little, get a goal and accomplish it. That helps, you know. Um, so after I got away, you know, a few years later, well, finally the homies came out. They hooked me up. We went over there, but then after that, life happens and you start separating, going your own, you know. Um, so I started tweaking when I got this job on working for the county for animal control,
Oh
right?
shit.
Um, yeah, I don't even know fucking why, dog, but that's where it fucking started. The homies used to work there. The homies I was in YA with, because your homies used to work. When I got there, homies used to work there. You know, there's homies everywhere if you think about it. You know,
Yeah.
um, so on the weekends, we just used to party right there. That we had this place called the Love Shack, and we used to see like girls come over, and then we used to party there. You know, but you know, one thing leads to another one, and then it gets out of hand, especially when you just got out, you never really party and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, so shit get out of hand, and then next thing you know, you lose it all. You get me?
Damn.
So it's hard, like pulling yourself together because I was at a point that I was out on the street, and I actually lied to myself, thinking, man, I can perform without this shit. You know, like
Damn.
I can go look for a job because I need this shit so I could work. That's a fucking lie, homie.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lie. That's your mind, you lying to yourself, you know. But it's also something that if you turn it around, you could use um that mind trick to keep you going. You get
Yeah.
me? Because once you get to a point where you're where the pain of saying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing, you're gonna start changing. You
Yeah,
get
for
me?
sure.
um and you gotta start putting yourself like I used to think it was bullshit, but no, you start listening to motivational things. um just listen to them every day, little by little, you know, start changing mentality, because once you start once you stop focusing on the negative and you start focusing on the positive, then you know things, you start finding the answer to certain things that keep you in the same spot.
Yeah.
You get me? If anything else, it gives you the courage to start working on yourself, because you have to work on yourself too. You get me?
Yes,
You
sir.
you, you have to do your exercise. You get me? You have to do a little exercise. Go for your run, whatever, so you could get that out of your system. Get yourself healthier. You know that, and learn to control that extra energy that might make you want to snap.
Yeah.
You get me? And then find a job, even if it's minimum wage. You get me? Because I seen some homies that they don't want to work because the only jobs they could get is minimum wage. So, and they said uh that their work is worth more than that. But hey, you gotta start at one point, huh? You know,
Yep.
you gotta fucking learn something, get some skills, you know. And even when you get those skills, it's not even for sure that you're gonna have a good job. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Um, so like kind of like humble yourself, you know, and just work from the bottom up. Just and then find something creative for you to do that you are creating, something that's yours. You get me?
Yeah.
Now you might not fucking end up getting a lot of money for all that shit, but it helps. It helps you as a person. You
Yes,
get me?
sir.
It helps you as a person because you get to a point where you start creating shit that's yours that it really doesn't matter. Um, like you trying to fucking go back and fuck up or whatever. So when you see when something hard happens in your life, like um something dramatic or something big happens in your life again that you know that would piss you off and lead you to a different path, you know how to control yourself. You become stronger. You know, you actually become
Yeah.
more in control. You get me?
Yes,
um
sir.
it's you know it it's because like like I feel like that's my point of view. If you've been to YA since you're a little kid, you had that hard mentality in you. You're strong. You get me?
Yeah.
You survived through all that shit. So now apply that to life, dude. Imagine what the fuck we could do. Imagine what the homies could do. You know, like, come on, man. There's a whole world out there. They could take over. You know, like, and I mean, they could like in their life, they could build something. You know, you just gotta apply that thing that you learn in YA
Definitely.
to your
Definitely.
to
That
to
never,
life.
never quit, never back down.
Yeah, never.
That kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's fools out here that are gonna look down on you because you just got out or you've been away. They think, oh, this fool's gonna fuck up and it's gonna leave. Nah, I mean, you know, like don't worry about that person. Fuck that person. That person's just a miserable person that's trying to take you down with them. You know, like keep your head up and just keep going. Focus on what you're doing. You get me?
Oh,
Like um, so when I started rebuilding myself the second time, I started working for Forever 21 in the warehouse, right?
yeah.
Working 12, 14 hours, right? Like picking up like boxes, filling up trailers, container. Um, I stopped fucking around with any drugs. You get me?
Yeah.
I started bicycling to work and that helped. You get me? Um, I started doing vitamins. You okay?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm good.
You okay? Yeah. All right. So I started like taking some vitamins. You get me? Then I made the decision. It's like I know I'm not gonna stay in school because, like I told you, it's like I went to college, I did that, but at the end I decided that's not my shit. You get me? I don't want to be stuck in college, you know
Yeah.
that. Then I got my class A, right? I got my class A, and the homie Casper from the Harbor, he kind of pushed me on it. You know, he passed away unfortunately last year.
Oh, rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. And the homie he was really good homie, like he was really good handed, you know. And he pushed me in it and I got my class A finally. So once you get out of the state and you start seeing out there, like at least for me, it's like this whole different world, you know. I was doing trips from here all the way to New Jersey. I'm going all the way to Miami, up to New Jersey, Boston, come all the way to the top to Idaho, and then all the way back down in a lot of states in between.
Yeah.
I met different type of people. You get me? And I realized that we're racist. We're biases towards a lot of people. You get me?
Yeah.
I got to I believe it was Alabama or Louisiana, one of those. I had a flat tire, so we ended up in one of those little towns. And me and my co-driver, we were hungry, so we had to wait about 5-6 hours for them to change the tire, right? So we went to eat and we walked in there. Um, everybody stopped and looked at us. You get me? Everybody stopped to look at us, and right away you like that thing comes to you like the fuck, you know, like
Yeah.
fuck you looking at, you know. So I mean the homie started like clowning, you know. We started making fun of some of those people. I mean, those were like the sweetest fucking people ever. Like I felt like shame afterwards. I mean, like, and it's nothing but white people, bro. Nothing but
Yeah.
white people. I don't know if you read like books about the southern or seen all these videos about the southern states and how racist they are, KKK and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like that, homie. At least for us, my experience, it wasn't like that. They were cool. They were so helpful. Fucking um, to the point where like we're like, hey, you know, like I think we're the racist one, because we hardly ever get out of LA, and we had this perspective about these other people, like, and so that was one experience I learned there.
Mm.
Then you get to drive through. Okay, so um, we were driving, obviously, working over the road. You drive. For the person I was driving, you gotta do 700 miles per shift.
Oh shit.
So I pick it up right here in Gardena, and I turn my shift finishes when I get to Lupton, Arizona.
Mm.
Right, that's borderline with New Mexico, and then the homie picks up from there and gives it back to me in uh, Oklahoma, and that big city in Oklahoma. And then I pick it up, take it back, get in Nicetown, Indiana, and then whoever picks it up from Nicetown, Indiana, takes it all the way to Jersey or Boston, right? So my first thing was driving semi at nighttime.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't. I mean, this experience, a trip. I used to see this big mountain all the time, when I used to drive at nighttime,
Yeah.
and it used to trip me out because coming daytime, the mountain wasn't there anymore. So I started driving through. I drove through okay, because working over the road, you gotta drive through tornadoes, you gotta drive through tropical storms, you gotta drive through sandstorms, you gotta drive through snowstorms, blizzards, hurricanes, whatever. You gotta drive to the interior because most of it you get caught up in between
Yeah.
of it, so you had no choice. You gotta just make it out. Um, but after a few, I drove through the storms and all that, and I started getting a little bit more confident.
Yeah.
I started learning a little bit more about myself. The mountain that I used to see at nighttime, that was my fear. My fears are materializing. You get me?
Oh shit. Yeah.
That was my first materializing, bro. You okay? Are you sure?
Yeah,
You
I'm
seem
good though.
like you get a little pale right there. You drink some water or something.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
All right. So yeah, that's it's like your fear materializes. Like um I got caught in the storm my last trip. I got caught in the storm, got me in Missouri, and I rode the storm all the way down to Amarillo, Texas.
Yeah.
Right now, this is my last trip over the road. I had already been driving for a year. This is the worst trip I ever saw. The worst thing I ever saw was when I got to Amarillo. I There was black ice, nothing but black ice.
Hmm.
I don't know if you ever driven through black ice,
No, I never enjoyed the snow.
but you have to drive for like a 5 miles per hour, right? Um, so I'm not lying to you, bro. There were at least 50 accidents just in about 2 to 3 miles,
Damn.
and I'm talking about semis, cars, uh, SUVs, and RVs. You know, um, so you gotta put yourself in a situation where you gotta face your fears.
Yeah.
You get me? So when you come out of that, I now understand why that teacher said you gotta go hitchhike across country and then
Yeah.
write the book, because when you come out of that, out of that storm, and you see things differently. You know, Another situation was in Pennsylvania. There's this mountain of the 80, and I got caught right there in a blizzard. And then not just the blizzard, I got caught on top of the mountain. The fog got me,
Damn.
and you can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. And my partner was telling me, "Hey, when you find a semi, just stick to it and follow it." And so I was like, "All right." I saw one, and all you see are the lights, right? So you follow the lights, but then something told me, "No, stop, stop, stop," right? So I stopped, you know, and my co-driver was like, what's going on? Like, why you stop? I was like, I'm not gonna go, dude. Like, I can't see nothing. I don't know where he's going.
Yeah.
You get me, bro? Sure enough, man, I waited, and I started going slowly, slowly, and somehow I guess I liked it so much, the fog cleared up.
Yeah.
By the time I got down to the mountain, that semi I was following, it had flipped over. It had come down the cliff. I
Damn.
was like, that would have been um that would have been it. But you gotta experience. You have to experience life.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
get me? like I know to other white babies, like I know you already got out of YA, you already experienced that part of life, but you gotta experience the other side of life, like you gotta see what you could build, like there's so much potential with the energies that you have, that to get out of there that, hey, like it's amazing what you can make. There's a lot of homies out there driving semis, their own houses, they do all this, that been through the same thing.
Yes,
You get
sir.
me? Um,
Let me ask where could anyone who's curious about the books you're writing, where could they pick them up at?
well, this book is available on Amazon and exlibris.com. It's
Yes.
called Gang Related 13. My first book, I really gotta redo that one, so I'm not really, pushing that one. Even with this ones, I just see you learn as you go. Even with this one, the Gang Related one,
Yeah.
this particular book right here,
Yeah.
when I got it from the publisher, they messed up too. This one's missing stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I just this week, we're working on fixing it.
Yeah.
So you get me? It's always an experience.
Yes,
You
sir.
get me? So if whether it's your mistake or not, or somebody else's mistake, just take it as an experience. Don't get pissed off. You get me? Like take everything calm.
Yes, sir.
Um, but yeah, it's on Amazon and Xlibris. And let's see. How about you, man? When's your
Uh,
book coming up?
soon. Yeah, we're gonna I caught COVID, so that sent me back a little bit, but we're coming back. You know what I mean? And probably next Monday, I'll start the writing process again and take it from there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a name for it already?
No, I don't have a name yet.
All right. Yeah, man, would like to read it.
Soon we'll get it going,
For
man.
you to get it out, man.
Yes,
That's
sir.
exciting. That's the first book. Shit.
Yes, sir. And
It's,
is there anything else you wanted to say before we wrap it up?
nah, man, just thank you, appreciate you, and just a shout out to the homie Scrappy from Dukes, the homie Bones, and my family, man. I'm just grateful for my wife. She's been through it with me too. My kids, like you gotta have something that you build, but that's something I built. You get me? It's mine,
Yes, sir.
and you guys both find something and make it yours, and just fight for it.
Yes, sir. And with that, we out. Peace.
And